What's up guys, I'm Max and this is 999 Laser. We're back at the races here today with Neville Bradshaw and his 22-year-old CR500 for the last dance. However, today it's not just a full field of modern 450s he has to fight. Today, Big Red must battle Mother Nature herself. It's going to be a wild ride, so stick around, hold on to your hats, and remember, it's all for the love of two strokes.
Losing isn't the same as failing. As the Russian chess grandmaster Vladimir Kramnik once said, the way one plays chess always reflects the player's personality. If something defines his character, then it will also define his way of playing. This ethos isn't just confined to chess. A racer is also defined by his character. Neville Bradshaw lost at round 3, but his character will not allow him to fail. The South African has moved past his technical issues and he is determined to find redemption at the 4th and final round. The challenges that face him are harsher than ever, but failure is not an option. The board is set and the pieces are in play. We're in the endgame now. Previously on For the Love of Two Strokes, Neville Bradshaw has proved again and again the worth of his character and the might of his machine. At round 1 of the 2020 AMCA Championships, both man and machine shocked the world. The 500cc two-stroke was victorious once again. Bradshaw looked to repeat the impossible at round 2, and although a race win eluded the veteran racer and his 22-year-old machine, a second straight podium result kept him in the championship fight. Round 3, however, would prove to be the toughest day yet. But as we know, a racer is defined by his character. Mechanical issues plagued Bradshaw's day, relegating him from the championship fight. But the 272 doesn't know how to quit. That word just isn't in his vocabulary.
And it looks like the 272 machine has got a good jump. He closes the door at Chatfield. Neville Bradshaw has grabbed the whole shot on the Big Red CR500.
And now the showman is back for one final ride. The championship returns to Long Lane for the conclusion of the 2020 season. And this is it for Big Red. The old girl has been treated to one last dance. And Mother Nature has made sure that this will be the harshest test yet. The end is here.
Nev, 4th round here, Mother Nature's hit. What's going through your mind coming into the day? Obviously, track's a little bit soggy out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough day's racing, I think. The track's actually quite hard underneath. It's got like a layer of slop on the top, so it's going to be a tough day. That 500 is quite hard to ride in the wet because it revs out so quick. But try to get the best start we can, and I think it'll be like more of a survival type of race than it will be like a proper race.
So you've had qualifying. You was seven.
Yeah, 7th in qualifying.
Happy with that?
I only did 2 laps.
Yeah.
I did
literally first or second lap when it went out.
Well, I did the 1 starting lap and then 2 qualifying laps, and I came in. I was pole when I came in, but I knew I'd drop, and I knew if I was pulled in, I tried to stay in the top 10, so 7 was alright. But yeah, just got to try to save the bike for the moto, you know, like.
Obviously, I've seen you Instagram post last couple of days. What are your feelings about sending out Big Red into the unknown out there today?
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about it now, you know, like I was saying to JP, when you're racing conditions like this and you're getting paid to do it and it's your job and it's not your own bike and it's not your own equipment, and
you've got a job to do.
Yeah,
when it's your own stuff, it's a bit different, isn't it?
It's a bit different when you're going to make $500-600 out of it, but then like this is all my own personal stuff, so you know, I'm just not keen to mess my bike up. That's the biggest thing. I don't mind riding in conditions like this, I actually quite enjoy it. I just know like you're so hard in the clutch and can hear the brake pads and you just, oh mate, but it is what it is over here, so we're gonna race and do the best we can.
Sweet. Race one coming up next. Let's do it.
Here we are at the beginning of the end. It's the final round of the 2020 AMCA Championship here at Long Lane. In the MX1 class, we've got a few new recruits to keep an eye on. Luke Hawkins and James Mackerel could both be threats at the front of the pack. After a disaster at round 3, Neville Bradshaw will be looking for redemption here on board the big red CR500. He's picked the inside gate in this one. Let's get the first moto of the day underway. So who's going to grab the first hole shot of the day here? It looks like Luke Burton on the red 14 machine has grabbed the hole shot. Yes, he has. Closely followed by Scooter Webster and the newcomer, James Mackerel. Neville Bradshaw's inside line didn't look as though it panned out too well for him. But we're expecting carnage early on in this race in these tough conditions here at Long Lane. And there we go, carnage already. Corey Southwood goes down, allowing Neville Bradshaw to pick up 2 places there. And another mistake, another crash there. Ashley Greedy goes down. So another position gifted to Nevster 272. He moves up into 5th in the early stages of this moto. As we've already seen, this track is treacherous at the moment. Mother Nature was not kind coming into the weekend. But if we're being honest, the track in much better shape than we first anticipated. Don't get me wrong, it's tough, it's wet, especially for this old bike, but the conditions much better than we first thought, that's for sure. Bradshaw in 5th now, he's chasing down Tommy Alba on the 681 KTM and Scooter Webster on the 127 Yamaha. In front of them is James Mackerel and Luke Burton, the series points leader. They are battling for the top position at the moment. Bradshaw in that inside line is caught onto the rear wheel of Alba then. So Bradshaw looking to move forward early on in this moto as they come around to complete lap number 1. These conditions tough at the best of times, let alone when you're riding a 22-year-old CR500, so it's going to be a long day for Neville Bradshaw here. But as we know, the South African is a man of steel, and he will push on until the very last moments of each and every race. It looks like Tommy Alba's made the move on Scooter Webster then to take over 3rd position. Neville Bradshaw is going to have to try and follow suit as quickly as he can. He doesn't want Tommy Alba to stretch away too far. So he's going to have to try and make a move on Scooter Webster, and here he is, side by side, bar to bar, through the ribbon lane, and Bradshaw makes the pass stick then on Scooter Webster to move into 4th place. So Bradshaw now sets his sights on Tommy Albert on the KTM 681 machine. Can he try and close that gap? There's Tommy Alba, and there's Neville Bradshaw, the 272. A strong effort from him in this race so far. Well, what can he do about Tommy Alba? It looks like the KTM machine is stretching away slightly. Just look how deep those ruts are. So Bradshaw may be losing touch on Alba slightly as he's dealing with these back markers, these top riders already coming round to the lap riders. So That's another obstacle they have to manoeuvre here in this race. Heavy lap traffic. It looks as though Bradshaw's having a slight issue with this back marker here, holding him up slightly, and that's allowed Ashley Greedy and Josh Wartsman to close in on the rear wheel of Nev Bradshaw. So as Nevston takes the last lap flag, then he's got to be careful because Ashley Greedy and Josh Wartsman are right there. He's got to be careful, he's got to watch his back because we know Greedy will push forward and try and make that last ditch pass wherever he can. So Bradshaw has got to be careful. There's Greedy and Wartsman, not too far behind. But it looks as though Neville Bradshaw has been able to hold on. He's weathered that storm and he crosses the line to take 4th place in Moto number 1. Certainly not a bad start to the day for Neville Bradshaw. The MX1 Warriors are getting ready to go for race number 2. Gate choice is key here today. With these wet and sloppy conditions, getting around that first corner in a top position is critical. Neville Bradshaw opted for an inside gate pick in Moto number 1, and that choice didn't really pan out too well for the 272 machine. So it looks as though he's opting for an outside gate this time around, and he's going to be hoping to come around that first turn in a leading position. In terms of the championship then, Luke Burton sits pretty at the top of the points standings. The number 14 Honda machine had another great ride in Moto number 1 here today at Long Lane, and it's looking as though the championship is heading his way. But as we know, anything can happen in the sport that we call motocross. Our MX1 pilots are getting racked up and ready for the penultimate race of 2020. Who's going to grab the whole shot? We're about to find out. The gates have dropped, and it looks like Luke Hawkins with a great jump out the gate. Burton sweeps around the outside, Hawkins pushes him wide, and it's Neville Bradshaw in 2nd place. So the number 8 machine leads the 272 early on in Moto number 2 of the day here at Long Lane. Hawkins leads on the KTM, Bradshaw on the inside, can't quite make the move stick there. But he's looking hungry early on in this Moto. The 272 back at the front of the pack. Bradshaw looking and searching for some passing lines early on in this race. The riders don't get a sighting lap, so they're going out blind, so to speak. And Bradshaw desperately searching early on for a place to pass. He knows he's got a hungry pack of riders behind him. And if he wants this race win for himself, he's going to have to stretch away early on, as he does have the series points leader Luke Burton lurking right there behind him. So Bradshaw looking to make a pass on Hawkins as quickly as feasibly possible here in race number 2. So is Hawkins leading Bradshaw, who leads Burton. That's our top 3. The track coming around now after Moto number 1. But still, the conditions very tough, especially for the old Big Red. Through the rhythm lane for the first time, then double for Bradshaw, getting through there cleanly. On the gas, here he comes, Big Red, chasing Luke Hawkins, the early race leader. The crowd cheering on. The 22-year-old machine and the 37-year-old pilot. Certainly a fan favourite. Oh, a slight mistake there for Luke Hawkins is allowed. Neville Bradshaw will close in on the rear wheel of the number 8 KTM. But he's yet to find place to make a move, to take over the race lead. As we've said, Bradshaw is having to play offensive and defensive all at the same time, as he attacked Luke Hawkins while defending against Luke Burton. He's in a Luke sandwich at the moment, but so far so good for Bradshaw. He's holding strong in that second position. Look how deep these ruts are now in the second moto of the day. The track's only going to get gnarlier from here on out. The leading riders coming back through the ribbon lane, then over the stall wall, and then the double section for Bradshaw, Hawkins and Burton. Fight for the lead, and this is what we all want to see at the final round of the season. Some top class racing just like this. Throw a blanket over the top three riders now. Bradshaw yet to find a place to capitalise. He's trying to use those two-stroke lines going wide. He is on the hunt. He knows that he needs to make a pass on Hawkins because Burton is looking dangerous. The current points leader, who's looking to tie up that championship here today. Bradshaw goes wide. Opening up the door for Burton, and yes, Burton does make the pass then, so Bradshaw is shuffled back to third place. Luke Burton, the series points leader, moves into second position. He now chases Luke Hawkins, the race leader. Can Bradshaw retaliate, or is that going to knock the wind out of his sails? Bradshaw manoeuvres past a lap rider. It looks as though he's responding well to this. He's not allowing those leading riders to stretch away too far. Big Red still on the gas. Luke Burton makes the pass for the lead then, so Burton into the race lead. He makes a nice pass on Luke Hawkins. So the number 14 Honda is now the race leader. Hawkins in second and Bradshaw in third. Bradshaw smells blood in the water now. He's looking to make another attack on Hawkins to strike another blow on the number 8 machine then. Nev stays close as he's been on the rear wheel of Luke Hawkins for a while. A slight mistake from Hawkins has allowed Bradshaw to close in on his rear wheel. They're almost bar to bar over the stall wall. Bradshaw pulls the trigger on the double section, whereas Hawkins does not, allowing Bradshaw to move into second position then. So Big Red into second around Luke Hawkins. As Big Red takes the last lap flag then. Looks like the distance to the race leader, Luke Burton, is just a bit too much for Bradshaw, as he deals with back markers here on this final lap of action. But what a ride for Big Red, fighting back into second position in a late charge. And he comes through the ribbon lane for the final time. Down the start finish straight. Big Red takes the final corner on the gas. And Neville Bradshaw crosses the line in second position. What a fight from Big Red there. And that sets him up nicely for an overall podium result. Let's see if he can finish off the season on a high in Moto number 3. This is it. The end game. The final race. The last ride for Big Red. And what a ride it's been.
Look where we are. We've made it far. The overgrowth is breaking apart as we walk, as we run. Hold on to me and let's chase the sun. Don't look down now. Don't look down. Step by step. Don't rush ahead. Winter's kind. She gives you breath. Pain will come. For now you're numb. Take my hand. Keep looking up. Don't look down now. Don't look down.
It's time for the third and final moto of the day. The 2020 season ends here. This is the last dance for Neville Bradshaw and Big Red. Can he finish the season on a high note? The gates have dropped then. Who's going to grab the final hole shot of 2020? It's Luke Hawkins. Oh no, it's James Mackerel with the early race lead then. Big Red, Neville Bradshaw up the front as well. We've got Mackerel, Hawkins, Greedy, Todd, Chatfield, Bradshaw. All the big hitters up front early on in this final moto of 2020. This is the way we wanted to see this season end. All the big hitters up front early on. This race is going to be awesome. Bradshaw sits in 5th place then as our top riders are shuffling around early on. And Chatfield dives up the inside, knocking Bradshaw back into 6th. But Neville responds back immediately to retake 5th position from Adam Chatfield then. And as I said, our top riders shuffling around early on in this moto. It's an intense start already as Tommy Alba makes a move on Adam Chatfield. So Chatfield loses 2 spots there in just the space of a couple of corners. These riders have to keep on their toes then because everyone's feisty in this final moto of the season. Everyone's got a point to prove here to finish out the year on a high note. And this track is gnarly as it's ever going to be here today in this final moto. There's our race leader, then James Mackerel, the Irish lad. He leaves Luke Hawkins, the 2 newcomers. And it's James Dodd, Ashley Greedy, and Neville Bradshaw there in 5th place. Oh, but Dodd and Bradshaw failed to pull the trigger on a double section. That allows Greedy to make a move on Dodd, and Tommy Albert to make a move on Neville Bradshaw. So 272 is shuffled back to 6th place, and now he's past the bar of Adam Chatfield, the 407 Suzuki rider. And Chatfield makes a move on Bradshaw. So Bradshaw down into 7th place now. But he's looking to make a move. He's looking to retaliate back on Adam Chatfield. We can't quite make that happen there. So Chatfield's got a strong grasp on 6th position now. Bradshaw back into 7th. What a start to this final moto of 2020. An action-packed start, that's for sure.
Bradshaw looking to retaliate and respond well, but he's got the series leader and the number 14 of Luke Burton all over his rear wheel. So Burton moving forward, Burton attacking forwards now. It's Bradshaw's on the back of Chatfield, so it's a three-way fight for 6th place at the moment. Bradshaw, Chatfield and Burton. Burton closes the door on Bradshaw, so Burton now has 7th position and Bradshaw is back to 8th. So it's been a rough start for 272 in the 3rd and final moto. We're really going to see what he's made of here. Can he respond and regroup? Mackerel leads ahead of Hawkins, still Greedy is 3rd. Dodd and Albert battling over 4th, then it's Chatfield, Burton and Bradshaw. Bradshaw in 8th place, rounding out the top 8. As we said, all of the big hitters are in the mix here in this final moto of the season. Each of these riders have the speed, the talent and the capability of grabbing a race win. So it's going to be interesting to see how this season ends up here, who's going to end up on the podium coming into this final moto. Bradshaw, he did have a good chance at an overall podium spot, but as it stands right now, he won't be making the box. He's going to have to fight forwards. He wants to make that podium happen to end out the season. And it looks as though he's doing just that. He's chasing down Adam Chatfield, the 407 Suzuki pilot. Bradshaw is searching, desperately searching for those passing lines. He needs to move forward because the rest of the pack is not too far behind him at all, so he needs to move forward here. So Bradshaw chasing down the 407 Suzuki then. Coming into the main arena of the track, here they are, Chatfield and Bradshaw. 7th and 8th at the moment. Bradshaw pulls the trigger on the double-double, then he commits to that line and is able to make the move on Chatfield, who failed to pull the trigger on the double-double section. So with that, Bradshaw has moved into 7th place. And it looks as though Josh Waterman has also been able to make the pass on Adam Chatfield then. So Chatfield shuffled back 2 positions there as Bradshaw and Waterman move forwards. And to be honest, Josh Waterman is looking dangerous at the moment as he chases down Big Red. So Neville Bradshaw has to be careful of the hard-charging number 19 machine, Waterman, who was, remember, the early points leader in this championship. He's also looking to finish out the season strong. And he makes the move on Neville Bradshaw, so Bradshaw back into 8th position then. As Josh Waterman moves up into 7th, so Waterman putting a late charge in this race as he is looking to finish out the season on a high note. But Bradshaw won't roll over quite that easily, he'll be looking to fight back. And as Waterman and Bradshaw battle over 7th position, it looks as though they've caught the rear wheel of James Dodd. So what once was a 2-man battle for 7th is now a 3-man battle. Dodd on the number 3 Honda defends Josh Waterman, who in turn defends the 272 and Neville Bradshaw. So it's a 3-man fight for 6th position at the moment. As we said earlier, coming into this moto, Bradshaw was sitting pretty for an overall podium. But he's going to have to move forward if he wants to make that happen here. A slight mistake from Waterman there in the rut has allowed Bradshaw to come alongside the number 19 Yamaha rider. Just wheel to wheel to wheel between these 3 here. Waterman recovers well from that mistake and shuts the door on James Dodd. So Waterman moves into 6th position. Dodd falls back to 7th, and now Bradshaw has his eyes set on the number 3 machine then. Is James Dodd going to be the next victim for Big Red? Bradshaw all over the rear wheel of James Dodd. Searching for a passing position. These ruts are so deep now. It's
going to be a tough task for Nev Bradshaw to hold on to Big Red until the final moments of this race. He's going to dig deep. Bradshaw, look at him, trying to go around the outside of James Dodd. Powers down the hill but can't quite make it happen there. Wheel-to-wheel action here. What a way to finish out 2020 in such an action-packed moto. This is what we love about motocross. Bradshaw throwing everything he's got into this race, digging deep, showing us what he's made of, showing us why he's earned so many fans this year. He's chasing down James Dodd and Josh Waterman to come into lap traffic. Oh, there Josh Waterman goes down. Josh Waterman throws away 6th position. He's crashed there, allowing James Dodd and Neville Bradshaw to move up some spots. So Dodd is now 6th, Bradshaw 7th. And Bradshaw all over. This has reawakened the 272. He's all over the rear wheel of James Dodd now as they come through the ribbon lane. They are side by side, bar to bar over the stall wall. And Bradshaw pulls the trigger. He nails the double section and he makes the move stick on James Dodd. So Neville Bradshaw into 6th position now. A late charge from the 272, Big Red machine. He's sniffing that overall podium result as he takes the last lap flag. He needs one more spot. He needs just one more spot to nail the overall podium position. And look, just ahead of him is the 681 machine of Tommy Albert. So can Neville Bradshaw make it happen on this last lap of action? It's going to be a tough task, but he's digging deep, pushing forward, and he's chasing down Tommy Albert. So Bradshaw is on the hunt now. He knows he needs this one last position to make it onto the overall podium. He's slowly but surely closing down the gap on Tommy Albert. But is he going to have enough time to make that pass happen? He's got about half a lap to go. And there's some back markers to deal with as well. So the KTM rider in the green and black riding gear just ahead of Bradshaw with a handful of corners to go. A handful of corners to go in 2020. This is it for the season. What can Big Red do coming to his favourite passing spot? But it doesn't look like he's going to be close enough to make a pass happen here this lap around. It looks like Big Red is just going to run out of time. Double through the section, but not close enough to make the pass stick there. Albert down the start, finish straight for the final time. Then it's Neville Bradshaw. They take the final corner, and Bradshaw's just going to run out of time. He comes across the line in 6th position, and he'll just miss out on the overall podium. But what a heroic ride from Neville Bradshaw, and what a way to end it.
There to go. Day done and dusted. Just talk us through your races and yeah, thoughts coming out of the day.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I guess you could say it was a good day.
Better than expected, right? Like we thought
yeah,
it was
kind of.
I
I thought it was going to be. The track actually turned out to be kind of a ride. It was like gnarly, like
unbelievable.
rough.
Like when I was walking out there, thinking, the videos I saw yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
I thought, I can't believe it's turned out.
It,
like
it
this.
did turn out pretty good, to be fair. Like considering the weather and stuff. The first moto, I finished 4th, which is quite good for me for my first moto. There's a few extra guys come from the British Championship that are doing it. So 4th was okay, but like always, just a normal arm pump and just tight. And so I was quite happy to hang on to 4th. And then the next race was pretty good. I was battling for the
smash the start.
Start was good, yeah. Came around 2nd, I think. Stayed in 2nd. I think I got into lead for a bit, and then just Burden passed me. I didn't have anything for him. It's just today what I struggle with is like covering the clutch through all the turns,
Yeah.
because the ruts were so long, the clutch is so heavy to kind of, it was just like a bit of a slog, you know. So like when I was on my own, I could just get a rhythm and ride on my own, which was good. So I finished second in that one, which was cool. And then I really wanted to get in the podium, you know, like this last race, I really wanted to go over on the podium, and a 4 and a 2 lines you up pretty good for it. So that's the only thing I'm disappointed on today. The last moto, didn't get a good start, like struggled to get a flow. The first few laps were hectic, and then I started to actually come good, got by Waterman and Dot at the end.
Yeah, two passes in one lap, on the second last lap.
And then I knew I had to get Alba, and I kept looking ahead because I couldn't see if it was in front of me or not, and he was way in front, and I managed to catch up to him. And then I was planning a pass in the last lap. There's one section I'm quite good. I was jumping like a turn jump and landing on a downslope, and then going double, which was quite quick. I was making like most of my passes there. And I got to him and I was thinking, okay,
so
cool.
Close,
so close, and I was thinking, right, okay, I can get, and then the checkered flag came out. I was like, I completely ruined it, but that's my own fault, you know. I didn't see the last lap flag. So I came through about 6th in that one, but it's just intense, isn't it? Like the top 10 guys.
Literally 8 guys there, and you think, oh, any dude here could actually win.
Yeah.
You all look down the list and like, oh, he could win, he could win, he could win.
It's a stack the class, you know, especially the new guys coming into it. So I finished, well, I got 4th overall, 2 points off a 3rd, which sucks. You know, it would have been nice to leave it at a podium, but still, as we said, when I looked through the list, I was 4th overall. If you go down in the top 10, dude, there's some solid class riders there. So, you know,
on modern bikes.
Yeah, you know,
always
like
remember that.
That's the big thing. Like that bike is old, and you know, it is hard work, to be fair. Like, you know, especially like with the clutch being so heavy and stuff, and then it's on or off. There's no like torque to get you out the ruts and stuff.
Well, you've done 4 of these now, and you kind of forget what the feeling was like at the first round when you got 5th in that first race. We always like, it's unbelievable, like you got 5th. And you got 6th in that race, and you're like,
no, just it's it's just frustrating because the only thing that frustrated me is I wanted them on the podium. That's the only thing, like, because then I would have had 3 podiums in the series.
Yeah.
You know, and to say, you know, like, who would have said I'd be able to do that on that bike? But it's been cool, you know. Like, I hope it's opened up people's eyes. Like, look how we're doing it, dude.
Yeah.
Here on my own, bike's dirty.
No mechanic today.
Easy up, yeah. JP would have come, but I said to him not to come today because he's moved into a new house, and the weather. I didn't want him to drive all the way here. And to be honest, if that was shit, I would have gone home after the first race because it's not worth messing my bike up. So I told him not to come. So fair play to him for not coming. But you know, look how we're doing it. You know, dirty bikes all day. Bikes done.
Real motocross.
Yeah, you know.
For the love of 2
I hope. I really hope that people can. That's what I wanted people to see. Is like, I've had seconds in races. I've won races. You know, I've been in the top 5 pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
Twice in the podium. Just missed the podium today again. So I hope people can see. You know, like you don't need a 12 grand 450, or you don't need
a massive motorhome,
motorhome and all that sort of stuff. You know.
If you love racing, you love racing 2-stroke. There's no excuses there.
No, it's cool. Excuses. But it has been cool, and thanks for all the support. We've had some awesome support through it, and I think you guys have enjoyed watching something different. For me, it's been cool to see. Like, as I said, being a 2-stroke fan and a 500 fan, like, I'm glad that I showed the public what is possible. You know, like, how many other 22-year-old bikes could do it?
I think about 0.
No chance, dude. You know, like, so it goes to show, you know, like, I'm a big Honda man and the Honda brand, and 22 years later, you know, you can still be top 3 in like
on the box
on a good championship.
So your Instagram post said that it's going into retirement or semi-retirement now. Going to it for an easy life. Yeah,
you know, like, the thing is, it's just like, you know, like how hard those motors were today.
Yeah.
It's just not what I bought that bike for, you know. I bought that bike to have a bit of fun with my mates and have a, you know, just enjoy riding a 500 because it's something that I never did.
You kind of just started enjoying it too much, didn't you? You're like, oh, I could race this.
No, I know. You know, like, I just wanted to prove a point, and I did. You know, like, I'm very bad like that. Like, if I get something in my head and I think it's possible, I have to have a go. So we did that, and but now it's time, you know, like, you can't just keep riding those bikes like that. You know, there's a big difference between a 20-minute moto, trying to catch somebody to get on a podium, and then just going with the boys on a Sunday. So she's done me well though, you know, like, you know, between me and James and Roland, we've developed the bike. We've got it to a point now where it's probably one of the favourite bikes I've ever ridden. So, you know, it's been cool. You know, and I'm 37 years old as well, you know, you don't forget that, you know, like, these kids, you know, these kids are still in their prime, you know, and but it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun.
But now it is time, it's going away now.
Big Red ain't dead, it's just going to sleep. It's just having a rest of it.
You'll see some stuff, but it won't be at a racetrack.
There we go. Once again, thanks, Nev, for doing this. We all love watching it. Everyone, all the viewers have loved watching it. So thanks again, dude.
Yeah, no, sweet as. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers,
give us
a... next time. I've been Max, that's been Nev. That's Tatum. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you at the track. Cheers guys.
Up an hour or two in my own world, dreaming dreams that I fade into in my own world. Static plays on my TV screen in my own world, watching the clock spin round and round.
Watching Series 2 as much as we enjoyed making it. It's been a wild ride and I want to thank you for joining us for the journey. If you love what we do here, check out our merch store to support the channel. And don't forget to check out Nev on Instagram at Nevster272. Until the next adventure though, I'll see you next time.